So Shauna here is a star creator of a wonderful documentary called The Luckiest Shauna, where she has globetrotted to try and find her namesake. And in the process has gone from abhorring social media to embracing it. And so her talk today is going to focus more on the more nefarious sides of social media and what she's learned and how it can apply to your life. So with a thirst for social media, I want to introduce Ms. Shauna Dillavou.
Liars. You are all liars.
Tell us why, Shauna.
Horrible, bald-faced liars. None of you tell the truth online. And you shouldn't. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you a little story. My parents named me for the woman who won the Wheel of Fortune on the day I was born. The story goes, they were laying in bed together holding me. Contestant one, her name was Shauna, obviously, and they said, what a lucky name. Why don't we name our daughter that? This is the day because that's where I was born. I told this story at cocktail parties for years. Usually gets a few yucks. But it wasn't until someone challenged me that I was like, shit. I really identify with that story, with that woman, with the Wheel of Fortune, like it or not. I gotta find out if this is true. I'm a researcher, I find people. I gotta be able to find her. So with the help of some friends, we put together this documentary idea. That's how it sort of got legs. And I remember calling Sony Studios, finally getting in touch with them. And they said, sorry ma'am, we don't have those tapes. Everything from that era has been erased. We don't have any contestant roles, nothing. Essentially, no way to verify that she ever existed. And I thought, shit. Shit for two reasons. First, this is gonna be a lot more work than I wanted to do. Just really, and I wasn't gonna give up. And shit number two, because, god damn it, the only way we were gonna find her was social media. And I don't like social media. Don't get me wrong, I work in social media every day, it's what I do. But I think because of what I do, given what I know, I really don't like it. I guess I would be what you would call a social media consumer. Oh, I should probably advance that guy. Oh, that's nice. Fade in. Oh, look at that one. Okay. Okay, moving on. Okay, there we go. Social media consumer. We're all consumers, social media. Who here, let's have a show of hands. Who here has ever Facebook stalked an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend? Good one?
I never have, ever.
Yeah, I'm sure. You guys probably. Girl, you know that's right. Don't be ashamed. I mean, I feel like who here hasn't?
And you rarely check that. You just don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Who here hasn't Googled an OkCupid date before going out with them? Because who wants to end up putting fucking little pieces? Yeah.
Preach it, sister.
Thank you. We all lurk on blogs or Twitter feeds, maybe never comment on it. We're back there scooping up that information. We're consumers. Other kinds of consumers might be a bit more nefarious. They might be the kinds of people who are reading your tweets and mapping the geolocations and figuring out where you like to go grocery shopping because you bitch about the long lines, where you go to the gym because you bitch about the people on the machines, where you work because you bitch about your boss, where you live for whatever reason. They're watching that. Or they might be looking at your friend group on Facebook and analyzing your contacts and your networks, looking at your photos and doing whatever they do with that. And you might think right now when I'm telling you this, that's bullshit. I have my stuff locked down. My Facebook profile is private. Well, my Facebook profile is private, and as you see right here on Zesty, you can click on any of those links. I don't know if you can see my name, it's a little bit pixelated. And you can see my photos, my status updates, my check-ins. Bad idea, check-ins. Another little number that's sort of frightening is this guy right here, Spokeo. For $2.95 a month, you can see my address. There's Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, old address. My email address, my phone number, my age, early 30s, thank you, early 30s. How much I make, all of that stuff. A little bit scary, not that expensive. But it's this guy, Butyl, that scares the shit out of me. With Butyl, it's so convenient. It's an application on your mobile phone where you just take a picture of your friends and it automatically suggests for people, based on facial recognition software, what that friend's name is. So slick, so easy, so difficult to tag your friends. And there you go. But what scares me about that is that it's not just that I'm friends with you, it's that you take a picture of me in this crowd and suddenly you know my name, you know where I live, you know what I do, you know everything about me. It's scary. So that's a different kind of consumer. We're all also, on the flip side, obviously, producers. Producers are people, well, producers are people who are posting photos, who are writing status updates, blah, 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 doing all that. We're all producers. In a sense, we're all creating a persona. It might be your Shauna Dillavou persona, it might be your first and last name, but this is you lying. I mean, this is you creating some sort of a caricature of yourself. You may talk about this without the other thing, but that's what you are as a producer. Now, smart people, wicked people, these are the people, successful people, they're very mindful of the persona that they're creating. They're mindful of what's accessible about them. They very conscientiously choose what things to write about, what things to post, what photos. I'm not necessarily one of those people. You might be asking, how do I be one of those people? Well, hell if I know, but I'll tell you what I know based on the persona that we created for our movie. First of all, like I said, consider yourself a persona. I, for example, I never really post anything with overt political leanings. Do I have overt political leanings? Absolutely. But the most you might get out of me would be like a wow. Wow, Michelle Bachmann won the straw poll in Iowa where I'm from. Wow. Wow. For the movie, it was a little bit different. My movie partner, Mike, and I, we wanted to connect, obviously, with our audience. We wanted people to like us. We had to be popular online. And we wanted to do that using humor. But we have very different senses of humor, Mike and I. His is a bit edgier, more badass, in a word, it's just funnier. Funnier than my, like, nerdy, mousy, sort of quiet sense of humor. So there were some clashes about that. But we wanted to be careful about the way that we connected with people, the character that we were creating. Let's see here. Past that, it's a good idea to know your platform and your device. So in terms of device, I don't know if you guys know this, with an iPhone. Raise your hand if you know this. I'd like a little more obvious participation. With an iPhone, when you take a photo, it geotags it by default. When you load that photo, that information goes with it. It's called EXIF data. Where you took the photo, when you took the photo, what day, what time, and any other bunch of other information, device you used, all that sort of stuff. Well, since we didn't, it would have been really nice to have that shit turned on, because a lot of times when we were on that road trip, we didn't know where we were. Looking back, we would be like, that's where that was. A giant pistachio. But we weren't sure how things were going to get distributed once we loaded them to the blog, to the Facebook page, to whatever. We were really hoping they would go far and wide. And once they were out of our control, we just didn't want to release that much information about ourselves. Similarly with Twitter, Twitter's one of those things now where it allows you to turn on and off the geocode, which we used at times, turned it on, to connect with our audiences in certain places. Like Syracuse, New York, you had a great time, Syracuse. Yeah, lots of love. Because we really wanted to connect with our fans there. We had a lot. Or when we were blowing past Wichita, Kansas. Peace, Wichita, Kansas, shitty public schools. But, we were gone, we didn't care. Similarly but on the flip side of that, in Roswell, New Mexico, we were there for a few hours because we were having some Chexican, Chinese, Mexican food. Stopped at the International UFO Museum. Awesome. And maybe we just didn't want people coming up, not that there are going to be tons of people coming up to us, but we just wanted to create a little bit of space between ourselves in that moment and that place. Also, I think we completely forgot about it after the UFO museum and didn't probably send a tweet out until we were in Tucson, and then that just looked like a lie. I don't want to get too preachy, but a couple of other things that could be good to keep in mind. If you want to share your contact information, it's not that difficult. Just set up a dummy email through a domain that you buy on GoDaddy. Set up email through whatever, Google's free email. Similarly, like, it's not that difficult to set up a Google Voice number. There's no reason for you to put out your own personal stuff that you share with family and friends. Give yourself just a little more room there. And finally, and this is such a weird thing to say, but, oh, should I be advancing? Oh, maybe not yet. This is such a weird thing to say, but Google yourself. Really, like, make yourself aware of what's out there about yourself. Look at this zesty bullshit. Look at this gnome, this PQ, all these other things, and if you can, opt out. But at least be conscientious and aware of what's out there about you. Because this is the lie you're creating. You've got to be the one in control of it. So lift a glass to liars. All right.